Hello everyone and welcome back to the Winning Post podcast, an exclusive show brought to you by Architect Tips. I'm your host Stephen Dowler and I'm delighted to once again be joined by Kieran Clavin this week. He'll be providing his thoughts and views for the weekend's racing ahead. Kieran, welcome back. It's fair to say our last preview went down very well. We found some nice winners for the listeners. Are you looking forward to the weekend's racing with the jump season coming to a conclusion?
Yeah, it looks a decent card tomorrow, to be fair, at Sandown. Obviously, Skelton and Mullins taking on each other for the championship. I know Mullins has gone gun-ho with, what's he got, 10 in the big race tomorrow?
Yeah.
It's pretty much a formality that he should win it, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. It'd be nice to see Skelton win it, but I don't think he's going to, unfortunately. I think he knows that as well, judging by his interview on Racing TV yesterday as well. But yeah, good card to look forward to. We're going to go through now for sure to finish off the jump season.
Yep, lovely stuff. Right, we'll get straight into the weekend's racing. And the first race we're going to look at is the 150 at Sandown, the Josh Gifford Novices Handicap Chase. Kieran, do you have any fancies in the first race?
I do actually. I'm actually going to put up two selections tomorrow, and this is one of them. And it's bad for Ben Paulin and Ben Jones. Now, wasn't too clever last time out in the Topham, but you can excuse that over the national fences. But apart from that, he's ran pretty well this season over fences, very consistent, always runs his race. Won the two previous to that at Kempton very nicely, and back going right-handed, which looks the preference because he's been running well around Ascot and at Kempton, like I said. Sandown should suit him as well, and I think he could go well here. I think he's about 9-1, so he could be a good each-way play in the race for Ben Paulin. Obviously, all eyes will be drawn to the Mullins and Skelton horses, but I think he might go under the radar and potentially could be an each-way play at 9-1. That's bad for Ben Paulin.
Okay. The one that I like the look of here is Ide. I think he's around 6-1 for the Hughie Morrison team. I do have respect for Classic Anthem, who won very nicely here the last time, but I do think this looks a lot more competitive, and he may find one or two too good here, and I do think Ide's got a good chance. I know he had quite a hard race a couple of weeks ago at Ayr, and that did come over 3 miles, but I love the way he travelled into that race. He looked like he was going to bolt up at jumping the second last, and Masaccio come and had a good old scrap with him all the way to the line. Masaccio's rated 146, and I thought he ran really well in defeat. The handicap was only putting him up a couple of pounds, and given he stays further and he jumps really well, I think he'll be really well suited to this course. So off a really low weight, I think he could run a really good race here, and he's available at 6-1, so he'll do for me each way in the first race that we've looked at. Moving on to the next race that we're going to look at is the 205 at Leicester, the King Richard's Cup. This looks quite competitive. I'm happy to kick this one off, Kieran. I like the look of AKKADIAN Thunder. It's around 12-1. I am mindful of the fact that this horse will improve for the run, but I thought he did very well last season. He ran a huge race under a monster weight, went third to MYAL at Doncaster when last seen. Before that, he finished 8th of 18 in a hot handicap at Ascot, and he didn't get a best of runs that day. He finished strongly. Before that, he ran a really good race to finish second at the same course to the 110 rated grade Monument, and he's off the exact same mark in this race. If he's ready to roll after a break for David O'Mara, I think he's got a very good each way chance. So at 12-1 each way, 4 places, AKKADIAN Thunder I like the look of in the King Richard's Cup. Kieran, what about yourself? Do you have anything you like in this race?
I looked at this and I thought it was an absolute minefield, to be honest. Try and look through rules that have won at the track, etc. But then again, they're all running off higher marks now. You've got Sergeant Wilco and Stripe Red, who have won round here previously, that are potentially they're a lot higher than the mark than they won off. Best part of £12, I think it is for Sergeant Wilco. He won off 83, he's now 95. I know O'Sheen's on board and Bolding's yards flying, but couldn't have that. The one I will, because I'll give the viewers a selection, the one I will have a chance at is Comanche Falls off top weight. Now, if he comes back to anything like his previous form, not of last season, the season before, where he he actually won off 112. He's now rated 103 coming into a Class 2. All last season he was running in Class 1s, listed races, drops in here Class 2, off top weight. Potentially could go well for the stable, but like I said, it would be a tenth of each way play in this race. If I was going to have a bet in the race at all, would be Comanche Falls.
Okay, nice. Moving on back to Sandown now for the 225, the Grade 2 Oaksy Chase. Now this looks a really good race, can't lie to you. I mean, what I found interesting with this, I was looking at a few stats, and 0 of the last 10 winners won on their previous start before this race. Now, if that's anything to go by, that's clearly a negative for
This could end in tears then, this race.
Yeah, and Gaelic Warrior. To be honest, the more I've looked at this race, the more I'm happy to shy away from the top of the market. I've just got this suspicion that this trip will stretch Pic D'Orhy. I know he's been impressive in both his last couple of starts, but he's never been at his best when he's been to Sandown previously. And I just think his price is plenty short enough. Now, obviously, I did tip Gaelic Warrior the last time when he won at Aintree, but I do think he needed every yard of those 3 miles to get the job done. And back over this shorter trip, with these fences coming real thick and fast, I think he may get taken off his feet. Gentleman to me, he was rejuvenated by the national fences last time out, and he has actually had experience of Sandown before, but I do think the price has been sucked out of him to worthy of putting him up as a tip. So I'm going to look completely out the box here, and I'm going to put up Appreciate It around 18 to 1.
Jesus, yeah, Joseph. Wow.
Okay. Yeah, I could have either egg on my face or a pat on the back. It's going to go one way or the other here, I think.
That's one way of looking at it,
yeah. So I know he's not getting any younger, being an 11-year-old, but I do think this trip and the ground will be right up his street. Obviously, back in the day, he won a Supreme, and he's been dining at the highest level for several years now. He stayed on strongly to win on good ground in the Grade 2 race on his penultimate start, and I thought he's still travelling really well in the national last time out before he was brought down. So technically he hasn't had much of a hard race. So I think at around 18 to 1, Sean O'Keefe remaining in the saddle, I'm happy to take a chance on him. Hopefully he can get back to winning ways at 18 to 1. But yeah, it's
nice.
Yeah, it would be lovely. I do think he'll outrun his odds. I mean, if he can put it all together like he did on his penultimate start, I think he's got a solid each way chance. So Appreciate It 18 to 1 in the Oaksy Chase for me. Kieran, who do you like the look of?
Again, this is like you couldn't trust some of these. You really couldn't. Like thinking out of the box, Appreciate It, that's definitely one. I didn't even look at him to comprehend him, to be honest. But all goes well for you with that. I agree with Gaelic Warrior. He's far too short. I know people are all latching on that he's going to jog round and win this easily, but like you said, he needed every yard at Aintree. And is he able to back it up? Like, he doesn't normally back his races up very well, does he?
No.
He wins well, and then next time out he slumps and finds one too good. Pic D'Orhy, if I had to have a selection, it probably would be him, because Gentleman to Me can't be trusted either. But he's 10. I know he's only had 2 runs this season. He's decent at Ascot. If I was nailed to have a selection in this race, it would be Pic D'Orhy, but I wouldn't be throwing at the kitchen sink at it, should we say. Like, he's 10 years old now. He could dot up from the front, or he could just fall out the back of the TV. But if I had to have a bet, it would be Pic D'Orhy.
Okay,
I couldn't
nice.
trust the other two, the 2 Mullins also. I couldn't trust Gaelic Warrior, not at 11 to 8. I couldn't be steaming at 11 to 8. He could dot up, but wouldn't be carrying my money. And Gentleman to Me again, he's another monkey. Maybe he loves the national fences. Maybe he's a national horse for next year. Who knows? But yeah, Pic D'Orhy if I had to pick one.
Yeah, you made some good points there, Kieran. That's fair enough. So moving on over to Haydock, the 240. Now this looks like a competitive race again, but to be honest, I do think this is a good race from a betting stance. Instead of me going first this time, Kieran, I'm happy to let you take the reins.
You actually shunted this one on me because I didn't realise we were doing this race, so it's taken me the last 20 minutes to actually look through this race, so this is going to be fun.
Apologies about that.
But it's an absolute no, like the handicap at Haydock, not Haydock, Leicester even. It's an absolute nightmare. Like there's 5 course and distance winners in here. Again, they're all run off higher marks like I've seen before. I'm going to take a swing at one at a massive price, and that is, if I can get this right, RHOSCOLYN, I believe it is, at 33 to 1. Now he's 4th in this race last year, behind Earls. I think he was beaten 2.5, 3 lengths, I think it was. And he's actually only £1 higher now than he was that day. He's had the prep run at Furska, didn't finish out his race at Furska at all, but that was in conditions race. He's now back into a handicap. I think he could outrun his odds at 33 to 1. And like I said, there's much for the muchness in this race. They're all above the last winning marks, etc. He's around his same mark that he ran in the race last year. He was 4th. He needs to go one player, obviously, to place, but I think he might outrun his odds at 33 to 1. And I'm going to test that. We had a decent one last week with at 22s that got gambled off the boards and won, so let's try another one at 33, shall we? RHOSCOLYN.
Good luck, Kieran. Honestly, if that one goes in, then well, that would be some feat to back up a 22 to 1 with a 33 to 1.
Why not? Let's try it.
Yeah, I mean, you've made a really good case for him. So yeah, best of luck. So I'm happy to play 2 against the field in this race, 1 each way and 1 as a straight win. The first one that I like from the each way point of view is RAMAZAN for Richard Fahey. Now, he would have needed his comeback run at Musselburgh early this month, but he's been a model of consistency in large field handicaps the last couple of seasons now. He's only £1 above his last winning mark, and as well as that, he finished the next second in the 2023 Air Gold Cup off a mark of 101. He was a head second in the 2024 Victoria Cup at Ascot off a mark of 105. And as well as that, he finished a close-up second in Ripon's Greats and Wilfred last August off 103. So he's down to a mark of 99. Joanna Mason's booked a ride. He's also a course and distance winner as well. So I think at around 9 to 1 each way, 4 places, RAMAZAN could run well. And the other one that I've come down on is the one right down at the bottom is MYAL. He won 4 on the bounce in the second half of last season, including 2 of those over course and distance. I thought he shaped quite well when 3rd on his return in the Spring Mile at Doncaster last time. He showed bags of speed that day. And he actually looked like he was going to win by quite a bit of a distance when he hit the front before tying up late on. I think he'll be better suited to this short trip. He's only gone up £1 for that effort. And being in receipt of weight from the rest of the field, I think MYAL could take plenty of beats, and I think he's available at 7 to 2. So MYAL 7 to 2 is a win, and RAMAZAN each way 9 to 1 at 4 places. With the 2 I'll be playing in the 240 at Haydock. Then we move on to the 3 o'clock at Sandown, the Grade 2 Select Hurdle. Now, Kieran, this does look a bit of an interesting race. None of the 6 can be ruled out. I've come down on one here. I'm hoping we both agree on the same one, but if not, who do you like, Kieran?
I'm going to, and don't mind the pun, I'm going to take a chance on take no chances for Skelton. We both agree with this? You in the same boat? Yeah.
I do, yeah. I
Yeah,
agree with you.
because there's like 6 to 1. I know it's muggy each way, but finished 3rd the last twice behind Lossiemouth. There's no Lossiemouth in here. And the rest of them have all got question marks to answer. Like Kitzel is 5 to 4. Like ran over 3 miles. I backed Maintry when he ran over 3 miles. He never got the 3 miles to him. 2.5 maybe could be his trip. But would you want to back him after that run? No. Lucky Place was unplaced. Was it the stairs he ran in last time? I don't think he went to Aintree, did he? Yeah,
No.
He was unplaced last time. Could you trip? And he's coming again, going back down in trip. At least you know with take no chances that she's ran at this trip all season. Well, she ran at 2 miles at the start of the season where she beat Cargeese, who obviously then went on to win the county. That's strong form. And then she finished 3rd to Lossiemouth in the Mares Hurdle, and then 3rd again to Lossiemouth in the H Hurdle. So she's got strong form in her. I think 6 to 1. Like I said, if you can go muggy each way, then go muggy each way if you want to. But yeah, I think she will take all the beating in this. And that's Take No Chances for the Skeltons.
Yeah, excellent stuff. I mean, there's no need for me to make a case because you've covered all the points that I was going to mention about her anyway. So. Yeah, I do think she's got a really good chance. To be honest, I'm surprised she's 6-1. I really am. Like, the more I look at this race, the more I'm thinking, you know what, she could be Skelton's best chance of a win on the card, to be honest. Obviously, that £4 allowance and upwards is just a massive advantage as well. And obviously, she's done nothing wrong all season, has she? So, Take No Chances 6-1. She'll do for me as well. So, good to see we've agreed on this one. That's good stuff. Hopefully, she can get the job done.
Hopefully, she can get the job done now, yeah.
Yeah, that's great stuff. Moving on to the 3:35 at Sandown, the Grade 1 celebration chase. I'll be straight to the point. This is a no-bet race for me.
It's just easy peasy. He just wins, doesn't he?
Yeah.
John Bond just wins. Let's just get on with it. Next one.
That's it. I think all Mark Walsh has got to do is just sit on John Bond and let John Bond.
As long as he gets around safe and sound, he wins, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, is he flawless at Sandown? Is he?
He's flawless. Sandown this way round, isn't it?
Everywhere but Cheltenham.
Anywhere but Cheltenham, yeah.
Yeah. John Bond's to lose, isn't it? Really.
Don't matter what Mullins throws in the race, he still wins.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if unexpected party chases him home.
Surely not.
I know. It's just interesting that they're running unexpected parties in this race. I think it's at least 20-1 the last time I checked, at least, yeah.
Well, they'll be going for every penny, won't they? So
yeah. Any prize money they can get.
Any prize money get their hands on, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So we move on. Carry on, sorry.
Yeah, John Bond just wins, doesn't he? Let's cut the race short. We don't need to talk
about I'm happy to really. just watch him win, sit back and just
enjoy. Let him win.
Yeah, that's it. So moving on now to the final race we're going to cover, the feature race. On the card, the Bet365 Gold Cup at 4:10. This is it's a really good race, isn't it? I mean, there's plenty you could make a case for in here. I've got 2 against the field in this race, but Kieran, I'll let you take first words on this race. Who do you like?
I looked at it. Obviously, Mullins has 10 in the race, which doesn't really obviously shows how much firepower he's actually got. The fact that he can run 10 in this race and then still have loads of punches down next week as well.
Okay.
I've got a short list of 4, but one is probably going to be my best bet of the week, which I'll come on the end. So the first one is last year's winner, Manela Kakuna. Obviously, won it well last year. 7-1 is actually, I think he's £5 higher than he was last year, but runs off less weight because Grange Clare West is in the race. I think he runs off £3 lower because of Grange Clare West holding up the weights. So he's got to have a chance. Obviously, if he's no flaws from his running entry where the saddle slipped, and obviously Danny Mullins gets back on now as Johnny Burke rode him in the national, so that's obviously going to be a plus point for him. The next one is the only Skelton runner, which is Holy Joe Smoke, who's a course winner. Now he's right down the bottom, he's massively out of the handicap, but Skelton's only running the one. He's kept him fresh. I know plenty of these Skelton horses have been running 4 or 5 times a week just to get these prize money up for him, but this one's been kept in the cotton wool for this race, so clearly they fancy him for this. So he's got to have a chance. King's Threshold at a big price for Emma Lavelle. Won 3 on the bounce. Could be progressive. 22-1. Potentially could be find each way claims if there's 6 place on offer. 22-1 if you want to have a go on that. But the one I really fancy is for the man of the team at the moment, the way going Perth, and that's Resplendent Grey for Sean Bowen and Ollie Murphy. 7-1. He's each way plate enough in. Like, you know what you're going to get from Bowen if you watch the race in the last few days and the horses that he's rode from and come from absolutely nowhere to get him up. Well, that one in the Highland National today, how he's won that today, I do not know.
That was incredible.
I think somebody said he went 20-1 in running when he got that thing up. No idea. But yeah. But anyway, back to Resplendent Grey. He's done nothing wrong this season. He beat Holy Joe Smoke down at Utopster first time up. He then went to Cheltenham, finished second to Highland, which wasn't a bad run. The third in that was Springwell Bay, who then came out and bolted up on New Year's Day. Then he went to the Grade 1 behind handstands at the course, where he finished behind handstands. That's not bad form. Handstands obviously went on to win the City Isles and then was pulled up at Aintree, obviously, but he was hampered, should we say, by the fallers. And then fourth to Jaguar at Trials Day off her insufficient trip. You mentioned Masaccio earlier, he was third in the race, he then won at Ayr, so that form looks strong. And then his final run, his last run, he was fourth in the National Chase back over the extended trip, obviously to Haiti Calours, who obviously won the Irish National. And he had Cole Cody and Clark Kent in behind, who was 1 and 2 in the Scottish National. So all the form is there for Resplendent Grey. I think 7 to 1. He's going to be an each way bet to nothing. He's bound to be in the 6. And if there's one man you want in the saddle for this race, it's Sean Bowen, because he's not going to stop, is he? He will ride this out to the finish, that is for sure. And he'll want a winner tomorrow, won't he? He's going to be crowned champion jockey for the first time. He's going to want a winner on this day. And I think this could be the one. And even though Mullins has got 10 in the race, I don't think he's going to win it. And I think it will be Resplendent Grey. And I know you're going to ask me at the end, but this will be my nap of the day, of the day. I just can't, so I just think the form is rock solid. And I think he will go very, very close. Resplendent Grey, Sean Bowen, Ollie Murphy. 7 to 1 each way.
Yeah, that's fantastic stuff, Kieran. You've a really good preview there, and I completely agree with you. I am in Resplendent Grey camp as well. Yeah, I mean, you've covered basis on pretty much everything I've got noted down here, but I do think he's got a really good chance. Sean Bowen will be throwing the kitchen sink at this horse. I mean, I think he looks very well handicapped off a mark of 141 off that really low weight. I think he's only a pound out of the handicap, which is nothing really. He finished second to handstands in that Grade 2 here early in the season, where he was, obviously the trip was just too short. And obviously I don't think he handles Cheltenham either, but he ran really well, I thought, the last day to come from where he did. And the more I watched it back, he was flying up that hill from nowhere. And I do think this track will definitely suit him better. So yeah, with those extra places on offer each way, Resplendent Grey, I think he's got a very, very good, strong chance of winning this and capping off a fantastic season and day for Sean Bowen. So he'd be my first pick in the race. The other one that I actually do really like the look of it, I think it's around 33 to 1, is Goshen.
The leader.
Yeah. I just find it very interesting to see him over this longer distance, and I thought the way he stayed on strongly here the last day, I thought, well, he's definitely worth a go over a longer trip. He's very well treated off a mark of 137 based on his previous form, and his actual record below Grade 1 level at this course reads 3 wins, a second and a third. Conditions will suit. So although his stamina has to be taken on trust, I think with no weight on his back, which is very rare for this horse, when you look through his previous form, he's always carried more weight. I do think he could run very well with the extra places on offer at 33 to 1. So in the 365 Gold Cup, it'll be Resplendent Grey. He'll be a stronger each way bet, and then I'll have the each way bet on Goshen at 33 to 1 as well. But yeah, that wraps up the preview of the racing that we covered. We'll move on now to our nap and next best. Kieran, I know you've already mentioned it of your nap, but if you don't mind repeating it for the listeners on this section of the video, if you possible, please.
Not a problem. The nap, as we just discussed in the Bet365, is Resplendent Grey for Sean Bowen and Ollie Murphy. I think he's best price 7 to 1 currently. You're going to get 5-6 places on a day. He's in each way play to nothing, I think, and he'll be the nap of the day.
Great stuff. My nap of the day will be Take No Chances in the 3 o'clock at Sandown, at currently 6 to 1. Yeah, I think she's got a very strong chance, and yeah, that's everything covered now. But yeah, that wraps up the Jump Season Finale preview. Once again, thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed our coverage. If you did, make sure you give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. In the meantime, have a great weekend, and we will see you all again very soon. and please gamble responsibly.